It was a splendid afternoon, and Larry was feeling very pleased with himself. He made all his freight deliveries on time, and his passengers didn't complain. It was also a very beautiful afternoon. When Larry arrived at Stillwater Station, he saw an engine with some tank cars that he had never seen before. She must be new, thought Larry. Hello, said the engine when Larry pulled to a stop. Do you know where Denville is? I'm supposed to take this fuel to fill up some narrow gauge engines. Oh, puffed Larry. Denville's just down the line. I'll show you. Thank you, the engine replied. Soon Larry was uncoupled from his coaches and led the way to Denville. At Denville, Julie was working in the yard. Here we are at last, Denville, Larry called as they pulled into the station. Thank you, the engine replied. By the way, I'm Kenya. That's a nice name, said Larry. I'm Larry. And I'm Julie. What's your jobs around here? Kenya asked. Well, began Julie, I'm often stationed here to help trains up the steep hill. But when I'm not doing that, I'm helping out on all the main and branch lines. And I run my very own branch line, said Larry proudly. That's awesome, Kenya said excitedly. You must never have issues with your trains if they trust you to run a whole branch line. That's right, puffed Larry confidently. I never ever have issues with a train. He did throw a rod pulling a heavy rock train up a hill. Julie, Larry hissed. Julie began to laugh, and so did Kenya. But Larry didn't think it was all that funny. He felt rather embarrassed. The next day, ironically, Dave sent Larry to the quarry to pick up some stone to take to the seaport. Now, you would think this would aggravate Larry considering yesterday's events, but it didn't. In his mind, he thought he could use this as a chance to teach Julie a lesson. Larry arrived at the quarry on time. He said goodbye and thank you to Jessica and steamed away. On the way, he met Allison with Penny and Kennedy. My run is almost half over, and I hadn't had a problem with this train, panted Larry. I can't wait to see what Julie says. Goodbye. What was all that about? Chuckled Allison. Sighed Penny. I'm afraid that was trouble. Trouble for Larry. Just wait and see. Meanwhile, Julie had just returned from helping Christian up the hill with the heavy freight train. Her crew then went inside the station to take a break. But their break was short-lived. Come on, Julie, there's an emergency. We have to go. What happened? She asked. Larry's throttle is jammed wide open. He needs our help right away. Julie was delighted and quickly set off to the rescue. She found Larry stuck in a siding and looking very glum. Larry, how did this happen? She asked. These stupid hoppers were giving me trouble, so my driver opened my throttle all the way to get the train moving at a good speed, and then couldn't close it. Thankfully, he was able to use my reverser and brakes to bring me to a stop, and then also use them to get me into this siding. Julie then began laughing. Oh, shut up, Julie, snapped Larry. There's nothing funny about a jammed throttle. And it's not very reliable either. I'm surprised you let it happen, Larry. After all, like you told Kenya, you never have trouble with trains. Okay, Julie, that's enough, said Larry's driver. Can you please push these cars? Oh, of course I can. There's no time to lose. Larry's done too much of that already. Larry angrily hissed steam as Julie was coupled to the cars. Off we go, she whistled. I have to go fast to get there in time. Engines like Larry are so unreliable. Soon Julie reached the seaport. Be careful, Julie, called her driver. But Julie was in a hurry and not really focusing. She didn't know that a careless dock worker had tampered with a switch, and she was about to be diverted into a siding. "Look out, Julie!" shouted her driver and applied the brakes, but it was too late. Luckily, no one was hurt, but some of the loaded stone ended up on the bottom of the harbor. Dave arrived. "Julie, you're not to blame for the misaligned switch, but these are hoppers, not submarines." Yes, Dave. Sorry, Dave." And Julie puffed sadly away. Later in the afternoon, Julie and Larry arrived at Harmon Works where Kenya was waiting. They felt very silly. Kenya smiled and then spoke. "You know, there's more than one way that you can have an issue while pulling a train." Larry and Julie still didn't say anything. "And when a friend tries to help another friend after having trouble with the train, things can actually still go wrong." "I don't get it," said Julie. "What are you trying to say?" "I'm saying," continued Kenya, "even though you both failed, you still tried to get the job done in your own way." Larry then began to smile, and so did Julie. "I get it," said Larry. "No matter what happens, Julie, we're still really useful engines after all."